Hello everyone, and welcome back to another Purple Craft Productions modded survival episode. It has been quite hot this week, so I ended up filming without audio so I could have my fan on. So instead of having me talking while actually doing things, I'll just be voicing over the entire episode, especially as I spent this episode quite alone. Anyways, the goal of today's episode was to get an enchantment area built. I had designed one in creative that I loved, so it was only a matter of building it in survival. Now, this was going to take a lot of cows, so the first step was to get a cow farm on the go. After laying down the fences, I took my stone pad to the plains biome and simply led cows onto it. This teleported them straight to the coven and made the job so much easier. As I was breeding cows, I was attacked by pillagers, which quickly killed me and then just disappeared without a trace. I decided not to dwell on it long before moving on to chopping magical trees I had grown simply because I wanted the pretty blue wood for my build. After that chopping, I did even more chopping, this time of the area the tower will go in. It is going right behind the house next to the create workshop my brother Darkfire plans to build. I then put in that magic wood for the floor. After that, I went on to put some stuff away and finally just snapped as I could no longer stand our lack of organization. So I labeled all the chests and then dyed all the signs so that way they were magenta, since we didn't really have purple dye and magenta was the closest, except for our personal chest, which I dyed a color relating to each coven member. For example, as a moon I get yellow, Sly Blue got blue, Maya got pink, etc, etc. I then spent over an hour organizing all the chests, but once I was done, it was like a cloud had evaporated in my mind and I could once again focus on building the enchanting tower. The bottom of the tower was mossy limestone, with the next layer being a less mossy version of the same stone. One moment, I gotta breed and murder more cows. I chose Oran and Iron windows as they fit the mystical vibe of the area, and actually might replace the windows in the house with them as well, just because I love these windows so much, though they are a bit expensive to make. The final layer of the wall is plain limestone brick, so it seems the moss is slowly climbing up the tower. The roof is then made of Umbran stairs, which allows it to match our house nicely. The stairs also overlap in the corner, which both gives the roof a cool effect and makes it easier to build. Before finishing the roof, I added in the second floor, which is a balcony type thing. It has deadwood fences all around the bottom, so it looks like the second floor is being supported, and also around the top so no one falls off the second floor. I then finished the roof off with these tail-like things, not sure what to call them, but I put lanterns on the end to help light up the outside of the build. Back inside, I added in this chandelier with more deadwood fences and larger chains, which for some reason are cheaper to make than the normal chains, and they looked better for this type of build. I was still in desperate need for more bookshelves, with the main ingredient I was missing being paper, so I bred up some cows and headed off on an adventure. I spawned myself in the blue mushroom biome and headed west, where I was instantly met with a village which I raided before continuing on my way. The next thing of interest was a gravel pit, which I proceeded to dig up till my shovel broke. I then came across a mystic plains, which I stole the many pretty flowers from and marked on my map as a possible summer home for the coven. Then came the long swim, and then came the long swim, and then more swimming, and swimming some more. This is me really missing Benji right now. Finally land, which happened to be the marshes. I wanted out of that as quickly as possible, because my sword was already really low and I didn't feel like dying to crocodiles. I then came across these really epic mountains which I really wanted to climb but then decided against, though I did mark them on my map because they'd be cool and I do want to climb them eventually. Later on was a jungle which sadly had no monkeys but did have these pretty orange flowers. Then came a boneyard where some creature died in such a way for his bones to make an F in the ground. Anyways, it's an F I quickly gathered for myself before continuing on. As I had been traveling for quite some time, I decided I wanted a companion. I found some pumpkins and set about getting myself a crow when I accidentally got myself two. With one on each shoulder, I continued on. Finally, I came across another village which thankfully had 2 libraries, which I happily stole from. Content with my wanderings, my crows and I teleported home. Back home, I added the books I was able to make for my adventure, realized it wasn't much, and decided to work on the 2nd floor instead. The 2nd floor is for storage. I put Umbran trap doors above where people can walk. And then I put a ton of chests on top of them. Because of the roof, I was able to put 2 layers of chests, which meant we have a ton of storage up here. What we're going to use it for? No clue, just happy to have it. I then ended the project as I started it, with the cows. Sadly, we don't have the diamonds to make the enchanter yet, but off camera I plan to do some mining and get silk touch so I can get started on my 2nd building project. Spoiler, it involves glowing mushrooms. But this is all the time I've got today. I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye!